my active students! Are you ready to read a touching and influential story? Look at this picture. You see, it's a dog statue. It's in the Central Park in New York. I think this dog is called Balto. What great did this dog do to make him such a statue? We will see. Now let's read the objectives. So you are going to read the story that's on pages 175, 176, and 177, and then answer reading comprehension questions. Well, let's think about the title deeply. A brave dog saves town. What do you think this title means? I think this dog did something very great that saved people from a dangerous thing. And after we read the story, we will be able to discover what this dog did. Now let's start reading. Please follow along with me. It was a cold January day in 1925. Some children in Nome had a disease called diphtheria. Without medicine, the children would die. Many other people might die also because diphtheria is a very contagious disease. It passes quickly from one person to another through air. They needed medicine immediately. At first, the medicine was put in a train, but 200 kilometers from Anchorage, the train had to stop because there was so much snow on the tracks. When the train stopped, it was still 1,000 kilometers from Nome. The people in Nome decided to ask dog sled teams to help bring the medicine. They sent out an emergency call for volunteer drivers with dog teams to help them. 21 drivers volunteered. Soon, 21 dog sled teams were ready to start a long race against time to Nome, which was 1,000 kilometers away. The dog teams waited at different stops along the long route. They had to carry a box of medicine to Nome. The first driver took the box of medicine from the snowbound train. He had to wrap the box in bear skins to keep it from freezing. Then he drove his team of dogs through the snowy woods as fast as he could. When he reached the second stop, another driver and a team of dogs were waiting. Quickly, the drivers moved the box of medicine from one sled to another, and the fresh team raced off toward the next stop. The medicine was passed quickly from one team to another along the route. Then a blizzard hit. It was one of the worst storms in Alaskan history. The wind blew cold and hard, and the snow was falling fast and heavy. It was so cold that 2 dogs froze to death. The driver didn't want to stop, so he helped his dog team pull the sled through the storm. Gunnar Swenson and his lead dog, Balto, were waiting at Bluff. They were team number 20 and would carry the medicine to the next stop 45 kilometers away. From there, the last team would continue to Nome. It was night when Gunnar and Balto received the medicine, but there was no time to sleep. As soon as the medicine was carefully packed into the sled, the team raced off into the darkness. When Gunnar was only halfway through his leg of the journey, he had to stop. The snow was too deep for the dogs to move. They sank into the snowdrifts and began to howl. All the dogs were scared. Only Balto stayed calm. It took a long time for Gunnar to help the dogs out of the snow, but finally the team was ready to go again. Balto guided the team through heavy snowdrifts and around dangerously thin ice. The snow was falling so heavily that Gunnar couldn't see anything, but Balto knew the way. Long after midnight, the team reached the last change station. Gunnar saw no lights at the station. There was no driver there. Gunnar couldn't wait to find out why. He had to get the medicine to Nome. His dogs were exhausted, but Balto led the team and they drove through the whole night. Early next morning, they reached the town Nome. They had traveled over 20 hours without stopping and driven nearly 80 kilometers. No other dog sled team has done that. But that saved the town of Nome. Balto became a hero with his own statue in Central Park in New York. He is remembered as the bravest dog of all times. And that was the story of the brave dog. Now let's move to the reading comprehension questions. Question 1. What are the setting of the story? So here I'm asking about the time and the place of this story. Question 2. Why did the first driver have to wrap the box in bear skins? Don't forget that why is asking about the cause. Question 3. How many dogs freeze to death? Why? Number 4. When did Gunnar and Balto receive the medicine? When is asking about the time. Question 5. How long did Gunnar and Balto drive without stopping? Here you have to give the duration or the time. And finally, how was Balto honored? Do you think he deserved it? Justify. Well, you need to read the text or the story carefully to give me complete answers to these WH questions. Thank you. Have a good day.